How come every single time when I want to film something, the lightning is absolutely shit? I'm actually gonna cut this part. Maybe. Okay, everybody, welcome back to another video. And in this video, I just want to yap again. Obviously, my YouTube videos right now are just yap sessions, but with a lot of knowledge and wisdom. So I'm currently in Switzerland, so maybe the background feels a little bit different than the usual one with my little palm in the corner. But yeah, I'm in Switzerland, and Switzerland has been amazing, brother. I feel like it's a feeling that cannot be described. Every single time when I travel somewhere else, especially when it's a new place I have never been to, it's absolutely insane. The energy, especially when it comes down to a place where there's a lot of nature, and Switzerland is one of the countries that has a lot of nature, right? You've got a lot of lakes, you've got mountains, and it just gives you this peace, it just gives you this calmness, and it's absolutely amazing, guys. You need to travel somewhere, get out of your home country, and whatever it is, just go and travel somewhere where it's nice and you can kind of reconnect yourself with a bunch of nature, which honestly will do so much good to you. So in this video, I just want to talk about the importance actually of being calm, right? And also the importance of, nature, and how can this drastically change your life. And a lot of people, actually I've been one of these people, are super stressed constantly, right? They're not calm at all. And this mindset, to live with this type of frequency on a daily basis is poison, absolutely poison, right? You might not believe it, but it is absolutely poison to your mind, and you will scare away so much wealth. So in this video specifically, I want to dive into the power of the subconscious mind, plus your frequency levels slash your energy, how you should be, calm and so on, in order to achieve your dream life and to actually step into that identity. So I was talking with one of my students, right? And one thing that I noticed immediately in this guy is that he cannot step into that identity, right? Because you cannot step into a certain identity when you have so many limiting beliefs, fears, and doubts, right? And how do you actually step into that identity? Well, you need to take care of your subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is actually the first and actually one of the most important steps when it comes down to shifting your mindset and stepping into a certain identity so that you can achieve the best in your life, right? And by any means, I don't mean only money, because money is not everything. Obviously, money is just a currency at the end of the day, but that's not the true wealth. The true wealth is being calm, having a positive mindset, and just being in alignment with yourself. This is actually true wealth and abundance, because a lot of people, their mistake is that they make everything about money. Money is the true wealth, the true abundance, and so on, but it's actually not all of it. Of course it is part of it, but not whole. It doesn't create the whole wealth, to call it so. So how do you reprogram your subconscious mind in order to achieve wealth, whatever you want, in order to achieve greatness? Well, my friend, you need to sit down with yourself and take a pen and paper and notice your patterns. Notice, for example, let's say you have anger issues, right? And you're okay, I have anger issues, but what's the reason behind it? Because I can guarantee you 99% of the time, this just comes from your childhood. Let's say you have a super traumatic childhood, right? Let's say, I don't know, your parents argued on a daily basis, and hearing this as a child will automatically make you super angry, and frustrated, and it will come from within. You will not even understand why on earth I am such an angry person, to call it so, right? So you need to understand, okay, does the pattern, does the behavior, to call it right, okay, but what's causing the behavior? And then once you find what's causing it, and you really dig super deep into your past, right? Especially your childhood. Because childhood, 99% of the time, it creates everything. Because when you're a child, you don't know what's good and bad, right? So everything you hear from people, from your parents, all the limiting beliefs, you're picking them, right? And you don't even know because you're a child how you're supposed to know this is good and this is bad. And I can assure you that a very, very big percentage of this population has traumas just from their childhood. It doesn't even need to be like an abusive childhood or whatsoever. You can still pick up some limiting beliefs. And then when you start, developing in your life, becoming an adult and so on, you just start to understand, okay, what's the reason for this, for example? Right. So coming back to the behavior and what's causing the behavior, you need to find the root, right? Once you find it, you've got your limiting belief. Let's say as I said, the cause of anger issues can be like the root cause can be that you were always stressed, right? You were always into this type of environment whereby your parents, they were arguing like on a daily basis, for example, right? And you will automatically in your subconscious mind, because this is how you've been conditioned, this is how you've been programmed since you were a child, to automatically like seek these type of environments, which automatically makes you angry. Okay, so now you identified the behavior itself, the root cause. Now, how do we fix it, Sophia? Well, you need to do affirmations, right? And you need to reaffirm in a positive way. Okay, you've got a negative thing, like, yeah, oh, I'm always an angry person, right? When you tell yourself all of these thoughts, it's so bad because it's sinking even deeper into your subconscious mind. So what do you want to do? Instead of always like keep telling yourself that, oh, I'm actually such an angry person, this is just me. No, you change the belief that you're an angry person, and you just start with affirmations. You start either like with meditation, and what I do, essentially, like what I do, one of my favorite things to do, obviously, is like affirmation, looking into the mirror and affirming. But you need really, really to believe it and to remove all the fears, right, and doubts. Because if you're saying an affirmation to yourself, then 5 minutes later you're saying something negative to yourself, this does not work like this. This will not help you at all. Like saying a good affirmation and 5 minutes later you're saying, ah, fuck this, I don't think this will work, right? This stop right there will stop your subconscious mind from everything ever you wanna be, right? Or you wanna achieve, and this applies to everything, like to money and so on, right? One of the limiting beliefs that I had in the past was that I was scared. It's not necessarily like, yeah, one of the fears, we can call it that better. One of the fears that I had was simply that I was scared for charging, for example, like high ticket, just because like, oh fuck, but like, is it really worth it? Like everything I'm doing for people, is it like really, really worth it? No, it is worth it, right? And deep down in my mind, I was just thinking, obviously, the limiting belief right there was that I was like, nah, I'm not worth it, right? Everything that I'm doing, scaling people and so on, this is, it's not worth it. And this belief right here kept me so stuck for so long, right? So you need to work on your limiting beliefs, right? And when it comes on, I think I will actually make a separate video to identity, because identity is like the kind of like ultimate, like the second step. The first step is actually really digging deep into your past, understanding all your traumas, and be like, okay, this trauma is causing this behavior. Now, how can I fix it? Because actually, the first step is to be self aware that you have a certain limiting belief. And the second one is to reprogram your subconscious mind. And then, obviously, like the third one, stepping into the identity and so on. But identity comes down to, like, fixing more limiting beliefs and so on, and becoming a certain person. So yeah, that's pretty much how I did it. And one of the best books, I even shared it in the last video, is The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. I absolutely love this book. I read it like 4 times already, and it's such a game changer, right? Because your subconscious mind is literally everything, right? You might not see it, right? All the thoughts that you've you're thinking on a daily basis, you might not see it because like, that's my conscious mind, whatever, doesn't really matter. But in the back of your mind slash your subconscious mind, it just picks up. It doesn't know what's good or bad, right? As you as a child, like you as a child, you don't know what's good and bad, right? And it just picks everything you're telling your mind, all the affirmations to say. So even though they're negative and like negative thoughts, you're still affirming this on a daily basis to your mind. And when it does, it just picks it up, and from there, let's go. If I keep telling myself that I'm broke, I'm telling you, this is exactly what will happen. And this is actually why broke people actually stay broke, like poor people, just because they have a stupid mindset, right? Just because their mindset is absolutely shit, right? And I've been telling people a lot of time, right? Everything comes actually from your childhood, from your traumas, and from there you need to fix everything, because once you start to grow older, you just understand that fuck, actually, a lot of things come from my childhood. Even though, let's say, you didn't have like a. I'm not saying you need to have a super abusive childhood in order to get trauma, but it can still be like a little trauma, right? So you gotta make sure to fix it. And every single time when I'm talking about this stuff with people, right, and I can see it clearly when somebody has a certain trauma, let's say, I know they had like one parent absent in their life, I can identify it so easily, right? And I was talking with somebody, like a friend of mine, and I was talking about it, and he was like, nah, damn, how do you know all this stuff? Well, it's just because I've been through the journey myself, and I understand so well. I understand the power of the mind so well right now, the psychology and so on. And in fact, I even started to help people with this to actually fix everything. Not necessarily like to get rich as fuck and so on, but just to work on their traumas so that they can live a fulfilling life, right? Not a miserable life. Because trust me, a lot of rich people, as I said in the last video, they're absolutely miserable. Simply because they're not living in alignment with themselves. And I have done that in the past. I ended up in freaking hospitals and so on. It's absolutely miserable to live this way, like only chasing money, money, money. No, it's just greatness, true wealth. And true wealth is not money alone. So, my friend, as I said, you just need to work on affirmations, do certain meditations. Meditations really help a lot. I actually like to combine them with affirmations and visualizing basically everything, right? For example, I want, like, let's say I want to attract this like certain thing, or I don't know, let's say you want to attract love. You just sit down in bed, before going to sleep, prior to sleep or after waking up, and just create this vision, right? And how it feels to be loved. Really visualize how your partner looks like, your future partner, and so on looks like. And you just have this vision and you repeat it on a daily basis. And trust me, it will become true. But you need to sync everything. Like, you need to really feel the emotion and how great it feels, right? And the same principle applies to affirmations, right? If you just like plain affirmation, I am wealthy and abundant, does that even scream emotion? No, it doesn't. And then the subconscious mind's like, fuck, what is this shit? Like, what is this? So you need obviously to talk with a lot of emotion. It's like, I am wealthy and abundant, for example, right? Just you need to have this energy, right? To be full of life. Because how on earth do you want to attract a beautiful life full of energy and so on, radiating good vibes only when you're like, like this, half dead? Like, what is this? No, it's not how you program your subconscious mind, basically. So, guys, that's really it for it. That's like kind of like the 3-4 steps that I can just give you so that you can, take action onto, and just sit down with yourself. I bet so many people, watching this, they don't even spend 1 hour in their day, right? Just thinking alone without their phone, I mean, like journaling, for example. I bet so many of you are not actually doing this, and that's why you're ending up in a miserable place, because you're just not giving space to your mind. You need to get all these thoughts out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. How you would go about, reprogramming your subconscious mind. You just need to stick with it. It might take you a month, it might take you two, it might take you three, but you just gotta keep up the consistency. Every single day, a meditation for 10 minutes, every single day, and then you've got your own affirmations, right? You can either write them down or read them aloud every single morning, from your journal. Or one more powerful thing is actually to record yourself saying them. With a lot of emotion, that's also super good to do. And you need to be actually super specific, right? You need to tailor them to your current situation. You can just go to ChatGPT and ask it to give you powerful affirmations. This is actually such a banger. Leverage AI in literally everything. If you're not leveraging AI in 2025, it's almost 2026, you're literally stupid, honestly. Honest opinion. Okay, guys, so this is actually what I wanted to share about the power of the subconscious mind, right? What is actually important to reprogram it for your own good, right? They even gave you actionable steps. So make sure to not be lazy and after this video just implement everything you've learned, right? All the principles I've shared. And if you want even more sauce, obviously you can work with me one-on-one even. Or you can join the SBA Playbook community. Is a community for agency owners, right? Where me and Jonas, we help agency owners with their mindset. I focus obviously on the mindset side of things more, and he helps you with the principles of actually scaling your agency high ticket, right? Not charging low shitty ass retainers, but actually going super high ticket. So you can join it, or if you want to say that no, I don't want to actually like you're in another business model, then you can just work with me one on one. You can either DM me on Instagram or we can just schedule a call. DM me on WhatsApp or Instagram. We can schedule a call and we can talk about it, how we can go about it, what specifically you need to fix your mindset. So I'm always here to help people, right? Especially with their mindset, because I got to understand that mindset is actually so important in today's life. Like you cannot do anything without it, right? It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur, you wanna become super successful, right? You want to even print like 9 figures, or you want to say, yeah, I think 5 figures is good for me. Like, you don't need to be rich as person to, to become like a richest person or to have a good mindset, right? So yeah, I'll leave all the links to you guys. I'll share some sources on Instagram. Just feel free to ask me some questions. If you have any, I'll gladly respond, even though my inbox is actually pretty floated. But I'll gladly respond when I get the time. And also, make sure to leave a comment in the comment section, what you want me to talk about in the next video. Either like, let's say like one of the things that you're struggling. I mean, like it can be like fear, it can be doubt, whatever it is, right? Just free feel to share this in the comments and let me know actually if this video helped you a bit. I know for sure it's a lot of value, right? Sometimes when people don't understand this, it's just because they have the limiting belief that programming your subconscious mind is just like this smooth stuff. It's not. Just a mindset principle. You've seen a lot of people in the past talked about this. Napoleon Hill, a lot of great people talked about this. So mindset is not some woo stuff, as a lot of people like to call it.